Good catch.
All right. EJ, what did you learn this weekend?
Go Packers, go. No, I'm joking. No,
Yeah,
no.
go somewhere.
Yeah, for real. My takeaway this weekend is 2024 Sam Darnold just might be 1991 Mark Rypien. Now, hear me out here for all you youngins who don't know who Mark Rypien
I
is.
thought I was going to go somewhere I was about to agree with.
Right.
Now I'm questioning.
So, if you guys, Sean, we're the same age, right? 44-ish?
I'm 42.
Okay, so close enough though.
God, EJ, you're old.
And yet, well, today I am, but normally in this panel, I'm the second.
But that explains the dementia.
That's facts.
Calm down.
Or is it demented? I don't know.
So Mark Rypien, German quarterback, drafted by the Redskins, 1986. I can still say that, right? Redskins, whatever.
If you're talking in historics,
right? Of course, right. 86, German quarterback, had a very subpar, career, but he had one shining season in 1991 where he had an MVP year. I believe he was like number 2 or 3 in MVP race. Won the Super Bowl MVP for the Redskins that year, and then rest of his career with the shit. Sam Darnold, same thing. German career hasn't, now granted, Sam Darnold's, expectations coming to the league was a lot higher because he was a higher draft pick, but still, maybe the Vikings, let's say this 4-0 start turns into something that's maybe ends up them going to New Orleans in February.
You said Rypien was a journeyman. Was he a journeyman at that time, or
yes.
I thought he was with the Redskins?
He was the Redskins, but at the time he was supposed to be the starter, and he never got the starting job. And they gave him a starting job the year before that, and he was still kind of shaky, even with the Redskins. And then he had this one great year, one shining year where he had this.
Because he started in Washington in
86.
Yeah,
right.
So he was there 5 years.
Right, and that Redskins
starter until the year before, like
in 90, right? And that Redskins team in 91 was actually, in my opinion, a top 5 or 6 singular team I've ever seen. Like 14-2 that year. The two losses were by combined like 6-7 points, and they crushed all the way through. Vikings kind of have a kind of vibe like that. Like Sam Darnold's having that same kind of vibe. Maybe this is the one shining light. I don't know.
Let's remember this about Sam Darnold too. Is he is only 27. I know it's felt like he's been in the league for a very long time, but
I think some of that's the expectation.
6 years, right?
He's 6 years. He's 6 months younger than Joe Burrow. So
that's crazy.
I'm not comparing him to Joe Burrow. So don't think I'm doing an EJ.
Good, because right now he's better than Joe Burrow.
At least this year.
Not much better.
You're one to talk Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
hey, Jalen Hurts has the same stats as Pat Mahomes. I've seen.
Right now, it depends on the Bengals.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is also a fucking QB sneak merchant, but more on that later.
Yeah, Joe Burrow ain't the problem in Cincinnati. Trust right now. That dude.
But let's remember too. Like he started with a terrible Jets team, he went to a terrible Carolina team, and then spent a year as a backup in San Francisco. So like, he hasn't had the career that his draft pick said he would have, but also this is the best situation he's ever been in. And let's also be fair, he's playing with house money.
That's true.
He wasn't supposed to be the starter this year, and he's also playing for a job next year in a place that isn't Minnesota.
I don't know. He's also throwing to the best wide receiver that he's ever thrown to in his career in Justin Jefferson. He spent a year learning behind the quarterback guru that is Kyle Shanahan. He's in a really good spot. He's got weapons to throw to. They're smart running the football right now. The fact of the matter is Sam Darnold has hit pay dirt with the situation that he's in.
Right.
Well, I would argue maybe in results, EJ, it could look similar to a Rypien situation. But I was going to say the big difference is kind of what they're alluding to, is that this is the first time we're getting to see Sam Darnold with those pieces in
with
play.
talent.
Like it just happens to be on a new team, whereas Rypien was more like, I'm waiting in the wings and I'm not quite good enough.
True.
And somebody gives him the call up, but it's still a system he was in, and
right.
And it just so happened at this. And now to Mark Rypien's credit, it was very similar at the time. That was a pretty incredible receiving core as well.
Art Monk, Ari Clark, Ricky Sanders.
Yeah, you had a couple Hall of Famers on that receiving core.
Yep.
Who was the running back on that team?
Ernest Biner.
I was going to say, I thought it was a pretty good one.
Ernest Biner.
I think both stepped into really good situations. I think they just got there a very different way, and I think this kind of the narrative I was saying to Sam Darnold, actually to one of my students, was like, because I have to always think of things in recent memory because they don't remember anything more than like 2 years ago.
Oh, this
So
generation's
I was
pretty
like,
bad.
it reminds me in a way of like Geno Smith, like landing in an actual football city in Seattle and given the chance to like go. And I'll tell you what, I think Detroit really made a statement, and more on that later. But I think watching the Monday night game last night, you saw that like it's not just like a situation for Geno Smith. Geno Smith is playing some pretty good football out there in Seattle, and maybe he always had that in him, much like Sam Darnold. So I think I hear what you're saying. I'm going to mildly disagree just based on
the EJ factor.
This might have just been Sam
off,
Darnold finding the right oyster shell. I don't know.
Although one thing we'll learn, I think, right now is that the New York Jets destroys careers, and Aaron Rodgers right now, the Jets right now. We'll see how that plays out the rest of the year, man. But anywhere a quarterback goes to New York, the Jets.
I mean, look, I am certainly not one to defend AR12.
You're not. Interesting.
The man's like 48 years old, right? Like,
yeah, he's EJ's age.
Damn, dude.
And you know, and this past weekend, like, yeah, don't get me wrong, hilarious watching. That was the one to play. Son of a bitch. Well, hilarious watching his Jets,
goddamn Jets,
lose to
the Denver Broncos.
Like, that was hilarious. Don't get me wrong. That is hilarious. But like, it's horrible weather. He's 1,000 years old. He's with a bunch of guys that he's never really worked with because he didn't play last year. And instead of going to minicamp this year, he was on an ayahuasca retreat. So, you know, it's not really.
Is that why
New
EJ
York's
wasn't
not
on
really
the
the place
episode
where
a few
careers
weeks
go to die if you don't
was
help
that?
yourself.
I said, is that why EJ wasn't on the show a few weeks ago? Was
Yeah.
he on an
ayahuasca.
as well?
Iowa Kamala.
Yeah, there you go. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're 50.
Well, yeah, I think Kyle.
You said 48.
Kyle, that's kind of the point that
Sean.
that Mike and I were both making. Kyle says maybe Darnold finally got good coaching. Let's not overthink this.
Oh yeah, that's another.
I mean, that's
that's
literally what.
yeah.
You know, like, that's what I said. He was on a bad Jets team, a bad Panthers team, and then he spent, you know, a year in San Francisco, which is a good thing. And then now he's in a good spot as well.
So let me piss off Matt real quick then. 4 weeks in, Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year.
Why would that piss me off?
Because you hate these kind of like, you know, early like awards, you know.
No. He doesn't hate these. He hates whenever you have your knee jerks and you're trying to predict.
I'm not saying it is.
Like,
I'm asking the question.
be the coach.
True, but I'm not even saying. I'm just asking the question. Just for context.
I mean, I'd say he's more worthy of that award at week 4 than Brian Dable was at week 17.
Correct.
I mean, he shocked me. I mean, if you remember the prediction show, I had the Lions running away with the North because I didn't think anyone was going to compete. Not even Green Bay, as I wasn't as high on them. So for the Vikings, you know, it took me a week or two to like start buying in, but the Vikings are playing good football on both sides of the ball. I mean, like they look real good. So I think the Lions are going to have them as a thorn in their side the whole year.
Absolutely. What, Mac?
To answer Ernest's question, yes, Kevin O'Connell is the favorite to win Coach of the Year
Right now,
because they defeated NFC title game contender Green Bay and then and needed 22 points in the fourth quarter to make that game look close.
No. It's not even NFC title game contender. EJ doubled down with me and Kyle in our text group after the fact last week and said they will be in the NFC title game. He puts the Green Bay Packers.
It's very possible what we saw Sunday might be the title game.
The Packers in because he's a putz. That's what it is. He puts the Packers in the NFC title game. So literally the rest of the NFC field is playing for a spot, according to E-Jaws.
Well, to Kyle's credit too, also Kyle actually agreed with me that the NFC right now is fucking wide open because all the teams that we would penciled in before the year started, that barometer's come down just a little bit now. Banged up Niners
and green toes down. Exactly.
Green toes with that.
That's what he said.
You like feet though, Jim. It's okay.
EJ, Jason's calling you out. I never saw Ernest wear a Mets jersey before.
You don't see me enough, but it's a problem.
Not only that, apparently EJ said that the Mets were his number 1 team overall, which is
it's the Heat.
more.
It will always be the Heat. The Mets were the first team I ever rooted for. I got into baseball first. My favorite franchise of all is still
Go Heat, bitch.
That's right, baby.
Stupid.
Oh well basketball.
Mikey B, what did you learn?